Nintendo has just confirmed that the mid-season balance patch will be releasing on the 26th of October at 10 AM time in Japan, and it's a big one. And we actually already know every change that is going to go down within this update, despite the fact that it hasn't released yet as of me making this video. So prepare yourself for this big update with all of these changes, because there is a lot of adjustments that you need to know about. Like we usually do in these videos, we're going to go over every change that Nintendo has listed on their website one by one, so let's check it out. Changes to Amiibo: added support for the Inkling Yellow, Oxling Blue, and Small Fry Amiibo. They definitely had to do this before these Amiibo released, or they just wouldn't have worked properly. There was no support for them in the past updates, so now they're all ready to go when we can get them, which is definitely good news. Changes to communication: made improvements to data transfer between players. On average, data will be transferred about 0.05 seconds more quickly than before. Users can expect to see a reduction in the time it takes from a player being dealt damage to them being defeated, the time it takes from touching a golden egg to actually picking it up, and other similar actions. These improvements cannot fully compensate for a slow or unreliable internet connection. Very funny to me that they put that in bold. To be fair, Nintendo has plenty of their own problems that they can't just blame on internet connections, but I guess that can technically be a fault of the player too sometimes as well. I just found that funny. Changes to multiplayer: specifications for some of the sub-weapons have been changed. Fizzy Bomb: increase the time it takes for ink to start recovering after using a Fizzy Bomb by about 0.25 seconds. So yes, quite a small change, but I'm sure people with Fizzy Bomb will probably notice this one if it's something that you use a lot. Points required for some weapon specials have been changed. Flingzinga Roller has been changed from 200 to 210, Sloshing Machine from 200 to 210, and continuing the pattern, the Reflux for 50 to 200 to 210. I honestly don't use these weapons, but I'm sure people who are more knowledgeable at this sort of stuff will definitely know if this is a good or a bad change or not. I'm not going to pretend like I'm really knowledgeable on that kind of stuff, so let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Changes to Splatfest: so we definitely expected these. They did promise some of these, and I guess we'll have to see very soon with the Pokemon Splatfest if these have actually helped, but here you go. Made it so that when players from each team appear during Open and Pro Splatfest battles, each team's affiliation is also displayed, making it easy to know which Splatfest team they're on. Made it possible to report fresh hand-drawn pictures that appear in the sky above Splatsville during a Splatfest. Really interesting to me here that there's not any changes with Tricolor Battle. Maybe that's something that they're still working on, or something they do touch upon later in this article, although I haven't seen it. But still, I'm really interested in knowing if they will address anything with that, or if the next Splatfest is basically going to be the same deal. Other changes: information like the name of the current mode and progress through a challenge will now be displayed when opening the lobby menu during matchmaking in the lobby or Grisco. That's a useful little change, nothing major, but still helpful. When playing alone, immediately after choosing keep going or change gear then go, the player can now use the minus button in the lobby or Grisco to cancel matchmaking depending on the game mode selected. Really good change there in my opinion. That one is definitely going to be useful. I feel like a lot of people don't realize that you can cancel matchmaking sometimes in certain circumstances, so hopefully that will make things even easier for people. In the lobby or Grisco, when the player can select OK or Yeah when joining a friend, the sound effect will now play and the controller will vibrate and notify the player. Improve the efficiency of matchmaking for Anarchy Battles Open, Anarchy Battles Series, Splatfest Battles Open, and Tri-Color Attack. These changes mean that a pair of players joining an Anarchy Battle Open or Splatfest Battle Open can expect shorter wait times. So here is an adjustment. I don't really know how much this is going to help with Splatfest, but I guess that was something else like I was mentioning earlier. When reading Amiibo with a freshest fit saved on the equip screen, there will now be an exclamation point where the freshest fit is displayed on the bottom right of the screen. We all needed that, the exclamation mark, beautiful. This update focuses on adjusting some weapons, improving several features, and fixing bugs that relate to battles. We've implemented several adjustments to curtail to a certain extent the style of play where the player stays far removed from the action and continually uses sub-weapons or special weapons. This patch prioritizes bug fixes and other adjustments to weapons that will continue in the next update. In addition, we've reduced the amount of time matchmaking takes for certain modes, reduced battle latency, and made small convenience improvements to the lobby and more. The next update will focus on new features for the season beginning in December, weapon balance changes, and changes to the Splatfest tricolor attack mode. It is scheduled to be released at the end of the current season. So yes, definitely a big note from them at the end there. We can expect the next update to be the major season-changing update, which will have new content in it and a new catalog as well. So it's going to be really interesting to see what that update contains aside from what they've mentioned here. And I guess that's when we really will see the Splatfest changes. They're not quite ready to go yet. So that's definitely good to get that confirmation from Nintendo. But I'm assuming that, yeah, the next update is definitely going to be a game-changing one. We're going to see a lot more going on there than we are here, obviously, because it's a season-changing update. But I wouldn't be surprised if some interesting things are data mined within this patch as well. So definitely keep your eyes out for future videos where we do go over that. But it's not over with yet. There are bug fixes, as you can see in this update as well. Now, unfortunately, it would take me way too long to list all of these, but there are some really interesting ones that might have affected you or someone that you know. So I'm going to link this article down in the description so you can read them all for yourself if you'd like to, but most of them are pretty niche, honestly. Still, it's really good that Nintendo has fixed so many things, because look at this list that we're scrolling through right now. There are so many changes, and there's even loads for Salmon Run as well. So this is definitely a really, really good patch, and I'm glad that they've released this in time for the next Splatfest, and of course the end of the month as well. There's even stuff for story mode, fixes to Splatfest, and lots of other fixes that you should definitely check out if you can. So yes, quite a good patch. It's good to know where we stand with the next update as well. I'm sure a lot of people really appreciate that. If any interesting things are data mined with this update that Nintendo didn't mention here, I will be creating content about them. There's lots of really amazing Splatoon data miners out there who I'm sure will be sharing information in the coming days, but it's good to take a look at all of this and share as much as I possibly could, at least over the main balance changes and such that we've seen here. So yes, let me know your thoughts about this update down in the comment section below. What is your favorite change? Are there any changes that you felt like weren't as good? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And are you excited for the next update, which is going to be our first really significant one in the game in terms of new content and such? If you made it to the end, be sure to comment Splat Gang down below so I know that you did. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and turn on channel notifications for more. I'm trying to hit 20k subscribers before the end of the year, so if you'd like to join the Splat Gang, definitely consider subscribing.